The new 24-inch iMac is not there yet. What is up, guys? And today, finally, after weeks of waiting and guessing, Apple finally aired the event, and wow, we got every product we asked for. When the logo shifting turned into the hello text, I literally screamed. I was like, alright, it's confirmed, let's go. And turns out I was right. We got a new iMac with a fresh cut, and a new iPad Pro with the M1 chip, since Apple felt like the current iPads weren't fast enough even though they were overkill for the stuff you would do on an iPad. I mean, I had a bunch of predictions like the 24-inch display. Me and literally everybody on the internet got it right, so nice. I don't think we got it exactly right since it's actually 23.5 inch, but it doesn't matter. I tried to guess the resolution. I just multiplied a bunch of numbers to 16 and 9, and after a while I got 4560 by 2565 at exactly 218 ppi. Turns out I was wrong but close, since for some reason the iMac isn't exactly 24 inches. So, the new iMac. Apple finally updated the iMac with a fresh design that's super thin. It's unpowered, it's got everything upgraded. So let's talk about the design. I was surprised to see the thin iMac in the first few seconds of the ad, and the back with the huge Apple logo. This thing is only 11mm thin. It's even thinner than the MacBook Air. It's also only about twice as thick as the iPad Pro. Bendgate coming to the iMac? Is Bendgate coming to the iMac for real? Like, that's hella thin. It's so thin to the point where they have to move the headphone jack from the back to the side, just so when you plug in your headphones, broke, it doesn't punch through your screen. I didn't realize it at first. I was like, they for real removed the headphone jack? And the back of the iMac looks really good. It's flat. I know it sounds like a bad thing, but trust me, it looks good. It's clean with this huge Apple logo on the back, on top of a super colorful background. My favorite one is yellow. I know it looks orange, but they call it yellow for some reason. But then, the second when the iMac turned and showed off the front, that's an immediate turn off. Like, yo, what? Why is this? Why the white bezels? Because now when you're watching stuff or just looking at the screen, the white frame, it's gonna look hella distracting. Why did they do this? Especially when you're watching videos with the black bars on the top and the bottom. Having white borders with those black bars, it's gonna look super distracting and stand out. Now having black borders will make it blend in with the top and bottom, making it almost feel like as if you have no borders at all. Or if your screen's off, black borders will match with the black screen that's off. You could hardly tell where the screen begins and ends, making the borders disappear. Now here's what the iMac with white borders is gonna look like. Yeah, looks ugly and distracting. Now this wouldn't be such an issue if Apple made the screen go white when it's off, matching the white borders. Or if Apple, I guess YouTube, make the black bars white. And if Apple found a way to make the screen go white when it's off, when it's not displaying content, it will make a lot more sense.
The softer colors and light gray borders ground the iMac in your environment and allow you to focus on your content.
That's cap. What do you mean white borders is gonna allow you to focus on your content? It's gonna stand out like hell. Even if you have a white background, it's gonna still look weird with the black line / gap in between the screen and the border. Apple is capping so hard right now, like damn. And why is there a chin down there? What's the purpose of it besides looking ugly? Apple for some reason felt like they need to fit the whole computer in the chin. Yes, the logic board, the cooling system, and the speakers all fit within the chin area, which is impressive but unnecessary. I mean, you guys got a lot of unused space in the rest of the iMac. They probably could have made the iMac not as thin as it is and not jam everything in the chin. Probably at max 5mm sticker, which is basically nothing. I mean, still gonna be very thin. I would accept anything under the thickness of the Pro Display XDR. So now the front side of the iMac looks like a really cheap Windows all-in-one made out of plastic. It looks like a $200 computer you would find in a public library. Some people might argue that all of these is for marketing reasons. For example, people can easily identify the iMac just by looking at the chin. But Steve Jobs would have never approved this design. He would never approve something that's unnecessary that doesn't help with the user experience. Her face is like a 2, but her body's like a 10, so I'll take it. It's just that it's a $1,400 computer from Apple, so I would expect better. I mean, Apple made this iMac look cheap on purpose. I'm pretty sure they would have went for a more premium design. Some greedy executives at Apple wanted this to feel like a low-end product, so they can get you to buy the rumored upcoming 32-inch iMac Pro. But what isn't ugly is the 4.5K display. It's just like any old iMac screen. It's sharp, 10-bit P3 with a built-in color or something. Not mini LED, sadly. The 4.5K display resolution is scaled down by 2 times, so it's Retina, and at 2.2K, so you still get a lot of real estate, but everything is not going to be super small. Instead, it's going to be sharp. You just get slightly less real estate than a 1440p scaled monitor, like the 27-inch iMac. But what powers the iMac is also kind of underwhelming too. When you put a laptop chip like the M1 inside of a tablet like the iPad Pro, I'm impressed. But when you do the same thing with a 24-inch desktop, not so impressed. It's got an 8-core laptop chip inside of a desktop. Keep in mind that half of those cores are efficiency cores running at a lower speed to save battery life for this iMac desktop for some reason. So it's more like a 4-core CPU in 2021. It's not just any laptop chip inside of a desktop. It's a laptop chip designed for a 13-inch laptop. Albeit it's still bad, but it wouldn't be as bad if you put a 15-inch laptop chip inside of this desktop. Instead, they put a 13-inch laptop chip inside of this desktop, which is embarrassing. I mean, I was expecting the M1X or just a more beefy version of the M1 with more cores. Speaking of the battery life, power delivery. Yes. Now thanks to Apple making the iMac unnecessarily thin, it doesn't have a built-in power supply now. So now you gotta have this brick lying on the floor, catching fire probably. Now we got a brick to deal with. It's 143 watts, which is overkill for the M1. However, it is cool that you can plug in Ethernet through the power brick, which is kinda weird, but it works. The power adapter connects to the iMac with this high-quality woven cable that's color-matched. Nice. It's also got MagSafe. Apple didn't call it MagSafe, but I assume if you trip on the wire, it's gonna disconnect automatically, which saves the iMac from falling down. But you will lose your unsaved work if the power got disconnected, but it's better than losing your iMac. Speakers, mics, and cameras have also been improved. It's now rocking a 1080p camera, as it should be, with a studio quality mic. Pretty good for FaceTime calls and other non-creative stuff. The speakers are the real improvement here. iMacs have always had great speakers, but this time, they're bringing the technology from the 16-inch MacBook Pro and scaling it up to the iMac. Apple says it's the best speakers ever on a Mac. Does that mean it's better than the 27-inch iMac Pro? Gotta wait to find out, but I usually trust Apple with speakers. They also did something cool with the accessories. It's now color matched, but now on the high-end configurations, you now get a Touch ID button for fast unlock. Nice, but no Face ID, which is kinda a bummer, so I guess we'll have to wait for the bigger 32-inch iMac Pro. This iMac is clearly targeted to everyday users that just need a computer. People who browse the internet, teens and students. They didn't even try to target the pros. I don't think they have mentioned Final Cut Pro once. Instead, they kept on talking about iMovie and GarageBand, which is the non-pro version of Final Cut Pro and Logic Pro X. I'm kinda worried yet excited. Obviously, you guys know what I'm upset about. Why the white bezels? The white frame, it's gonna look hella distracting. Why did they do this? And why is there a chin down there? What's the purpose of it besides looking ugly? But does that mean we'll see an amazing 32-inch iMac Pro? The one that we've been waiting for? Very sus. Next up, this dude right here breaks into Apple Park headquarters. He vents. Black sus. He vented. And he takes apart the M1 MacBook Air in a lab. He unsolders the M1 chip and hops back into the vent. Vents to another lab. Put that bad boy on the iPad Pro. But wait, this dude was actually Tim Cook. I was not expecting that. Wow. It's funny that Tim Cook broke into his own building. Anyways, now the iPad also gets the M1 chip. No one was expecting it. Actually, we were, but then we changed our mind to thinking that they would put the A14X chip because the M1 is totally overkill for the iPad. Actually, the A12Z was already overkill. Sense again. What are you doing on your iPad besides watching Netflix all day. But it's cool now that we get 5G. And now the iPad is getting this very cool feature called Center Stage. It's basically an ultra-wide selfie camera that's much needed here, since I think the current camera is a bit tight. And the 12.9 inch, only the 12.9 inch gets mini LED. They called it Super Liquid Retina Pro Max XDR or something. It's just the usual marketing BS. However, the screen is amazing, with deep blacks and bright highlights thanks to 10,000 mini LEDs. Basically, it's a Pro Display XDR with no blooming, packed inside the 12.9-inch iPad Pro. Great! So, y'all just gonna ignore the 11-inch iPad Pro? Why not mini LED on the 11-inch iPad Pro? Like it's the perfect size to play games and watch TikTok on. I do have to say the screen is a bit small to watch videos on, but that's the only downsides with it. It's the perfect size for literally anything else. It's also the most popular iPad Pro. Yes, the smaller one is the most popular one. Disappointed 2 times now. I don't want to get the 12.9-inch picture frame iPad. But yeah guys, that'll be the whole video of me hating on all the Apple products just announced in the April 20 event. Big disappointment. Apple had made a business move right here. They don't care about the customers anymore. I want Steve Jobs back. But yeah guys, that'll be it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Comment down below your thoughts on this April event. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time with another video. Bye!